In the realm of competitive esports, globally recognised first-person shooters don't come much bigger than Counter-Strike. For one no-holds-barred weekend mid-June, ESL brought the same world-renowned gameplay to its Sydney studio for the final stages of the Zen Esports Network League, the brand new Australian CSGO major. As expected from an ESL-backed Aussie competition, the tourney pulled from some of the best domestic Counter-Strike talent around, including the Chiefs and Team Immunity. But for the first time in Australian history, the invitation to competitors extended well past our shores.
So essentially the Zen Esports Network League was formed to allow Counter-Strike teams in Australia to compete more globally. So we want teams, in our region to get better and better, and the way to do that is to play against better teams. Teams in Asia who are becoming better, have better sponsorship from the teams and organizations within Asia. So we sort of just wanted to put that all together, trying to get some of those teams, some of our teams. That was the whole point that we brought us all together.
Over its 6-week-long online qualifiers, Zen saw its 4 Aussie teams and 4 Asian teams battle it out in their separate brackets, with the final 2 from each advancing to the weekend finals, here at ESL Studios in Auburn. As you may have already gathered, the ESL network is no stranger to esports, and no less can be said for its Auburn studio, stocked to burst with all the venue necessities: monitors, streams, state-of-the-art rigs, and a space specifically curated to an esporting environment. On top of exceptional behind-the-scenes coordination leading up to Zen's finals, the weekend itself was anchored by a wealth of esports experienced staff, all ensuring industry-standard quality and coordination, with hosts and commentators serving as the presentational bow on top, disseminating the entire action-packed weekend and its countless hours of frantic professional gameplay.
For me, it's always exciting to come to a finals event like this after having cast the whole season, because we've been here for 6 or 7 weeks sort of thing. We've been casting these teams, we've been building storylines. I think it's also very exciting to see the Australian teams, particularly teams like Darksided, who don't get the opportunity to play the international teams so much, having that opportunity to play against some of these Asian teams.
Everyone kind of wants the Australian esports to be the same as, as America and Europe and stuff like that, but we just need to learn that you need to put the effort in. We have to be creating quality content, making people enjoy the Australian esports scene.
If you look back a year ago, there was never an event like this here. So we're making leaps and bounds, but it's still got a way to go.
After the run of online qualifiers, the weekend at ESL Studios offered a stark change of pace. Of the Aussie bracket, Team Immunity and Darksided emerged as Zen's national representatives, with South Korean team MVP and Reka Esports from Indonesia as Asia's 2 survivors. No team wanted to have to fight their way out of the losers bracket, but come Saturday, after some well-fought 30-round skirmishes, the 2 Aussie teams were unfortunately sent to Zen's first elimination round on Sunday. Capping off day 1, the 2 Asian teams went head-to-head, Reka ultimately coming out with a comfortable 2-0 win, confirming the first grand final team of the league and leaving MVP one final chance to earn a spot themselves. Sunday, the fated elimination rounds officially began. The Australian standoff was first on the agenda, Immunity eventually winning out with a favourable final map and landslide third game, moving on to MVP and Australia's last chance at the title. After suffering the absence of one of their core teammates prior to the finals, Team Immunity made an amazing effort making it all the way to the penultimate stage of Zen. Ultimately, however, MVP's onslaught proved too much for the Aussie side, confirming a South Korea-Indonesian grand final. But it didn't stop Immunity from enjoying everything Zen Season 1 had to offer.
This is probably the best event I've probably been to domestically in Australia. ESL have run it very well. The players have been treated outrageously well as well. Yeah, playing in Australia against the international teams is always great.
Reka and MVP, they're quite decent, strong teams from Asia.
It's always good to play against international teams because you pick up tendencies and little tips and tricks. So it's great to do it in Australia as well, not jet lagged. Actually learn more. So
despite the lack of an Aussie team in the grand final, with the stakes higher than ever, the international matchup between Reka and MVP proved a fantastic backdrop for Zen's title bout, a league celebrating the unity of the Asia-Pacific region. After a definitive final match, dominating the sidelines of CSGO's train, Reka finally took home the crown, Indonesia securing the lion's share of the prize pool and the Zen Esports Network League title. Taking home his very first title victory as part of Reka, we caught up with Excurate, who couldn't have been more excited with the victory.
To be honest, this is my first LAN with my new team, and then this is also a good experience for me because I'm still new in this competition since CSGO, and I feel really happy because I can win my first title.
Over its entire debut season, the Zen Esports Network League served up an impressive array of international Counter-Strike clashes, with its finals providing some of the most exciting live matchups available to Aussie audiences. But with the inclusion of the international teams alone, Australia's first Trans-Asia Pacific CSGO title also gave our players the opportunity to absorb everything there is to know about international talent out there, offering up some fantastic networking and skill building opportunities and placing ESL at the forefront of Australian esports expansion.
The goal at the end of all of this is to try and encourage other people to do this as well, try to encourage more teams to join our league, try to provide a platform so that all these teams can actually start building towards, you know, the tier 1 level, competing against North Americans, competing against European teams, and sort of help even the teams themselves get better infrastructure, better funding to get to that level, I guess.
Matthew Wade, Gamers Classified.